Good morning, everybody. This is Richard back at you. We got our instant clean machine all warmed up, ready for a hard week's work. We got Miss Teresa on the camera, number one. We got little Annie, always hanging out, making sure she's protecting everybody in the shop. You gotta love it. Man's best friend. But anyway, it's Dirty Bird time. Took the car out, did a few test hits a couple weeks ago, and normally we push the car back with a four-wheeler, and this time here I was kind of short crewed and decided to drive it back. And I could hear a slight acceleration whine coming out of the tranny. Wasn't the rear end was nice and quiet. But as the night went on, every pass it got louder and louder and louder. So I had to send my converter back and have a stall adjustment done to get it 100%. So I thought I'd go ahead and take the tranny apart and see what type of damage we're starting to see in this thing. It's terrible.
Hey, and explain, we don't know what happened to the volume last time.
Yeah, we don't. Everything we thought was charged up, ready to go, so excuse the problem we had with our last video.
No, that's weird.
But before I get started, guys, I want you to go to another channel our daughter and son-in-law is putting out. It's called 4D Motorsports. Really nice channel. Go check them out. Just trying to get them started, get them some subscribers, and get them up and going. Family group, gotta love them. You'll see the Dirty Bird in there, I believe, maybe a couple shots, and I know just a bunch of nice race cars and stuff. So it's going to be really interesting channel to go check out, huh, Teresa?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely go check them out. Don't forget to subscribe, push your notification bell. They'll really appreciate that for sure. This is a roller bearing style tail housing here. It doesn't have a bushing in it. So your standard yoke would be tight going in here. The yoke that would normally go in here with a roller bearing is a few thousandths smaller in diameter because the bearing is bigger. Square cut O-ring that goes there to seal the transfer or seal the tail housing to the case. And we have our trans brake solenoid here. This I did notice though, it looked like the body was starting to get a little bit of looseness here, maybe like the Allen screws that hold it together. Now this is a cleanable one. You can take this apart, physically clean it, and change the O-rings and stuff in it. So you push the button to put your trans brake on, and then when it bumps in, this solenoid right here is cycled to a processor that you can really fine tune it to bump in really soft or heavy. You can see that there comes out, pushes it forward. See if I can get that valve out of there this way. Some of them won't come out the back. You have to. This one here is. Get my little spring. Now this is a quick release valve body. No more when you come off that trans brake, this vehicle is moving. This spring here helps push the valve off to get the vehicle to move quicker. Don't want to lose the spring, it is special. Now we do have a bushing or a cast iron style rear case support. They do make a roller bearing style you can put back in here. That is it's an upgrade, no doubt. But the cast iron does work really well too. Now they do make a narrow bushing that goes in here, then a wide bushing that goes in the case. I always put a wide in the case and a wide in here. You can see how this bushing here is a lot wider than your other bushing. It's about that much narrower. The other bushing will not have a groove in it neither. This metal cover here. Of course, you have a gasket down in here. That's in there like that. Very simple. Now this tranny here, since we build a lot of heat on the starting line through the converter, there's always a chance of the tranny venting fluid out the vent. So I have a catch can up on the firewall that it vents into, and then it drains right back into the dipstick tube hole. That way this tranny can never go low on fluid. And what we do is we fill the tranny up through the pan here, and then we put a set screw, Allen head screw right here, that we take out, and we fill the tranny up till the fluid runs out that hole right there. This tranny physically has no dipstick tube in it. It's a vent drain now. Now the vent can still has a vent on the top, so the tranny is still going to breathe. You can see here, this is an aftermarket Denver case, really thick case. You can see here how the cooler lines are marked in and exit.
In and out.
And vent, date, serial number. But if you notice, the cooler line has a sensor in it for pressure. So we're monitoring cooler line pressure, and we're monitoring servo pressure on the side. Really nice sensor though. You don't want to break it, mess it up or anything like that, that's for sure. Oops, that must not work. I thought I went and got my 9/16, but I guess I didn't. I think I took it back. What we got is our band adjustment here. And we have a Allen wrench in the middle. I like to set these about 3.5 turns, so you can go half, 1, 2, 3, a little bit more, which I haven't checked the band since I've been running it, so, but about 3.5 turns. So it's half, 1, 2, 3, snug her down. We have our Sonex servo here with its custom calibrated spring. Really nice piece. Sonex makes a couple options right here, so you can talk to them over there and they give you the right product that you need, right servo. Always want to check your bore in here, make sure there's nothing going on in here. The last time we had this apart, we did some other Sonex upgrades. We put the drum things in there, the servos. So we cooked the band out at the track one weekend, and
Yeah, that was before you had your shoulder surgery.
mm-hmm.
Which is coming up to be a year in May.
Mm-hmm. Pan looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I knew that was going to be wrong. Let me see if I got the right one for that little thing. There we go. I like using the Chrysler filter. One thing about it though that you got to be really careful is these little aluminum. Let me get that out of there. Come on. You can see here how the bolt tightens down on this aluminum piece right here. These used to be steel and now they're aluminum. so it squishes them out real easy. I think the next time when I put it on, I'm gonna find me a washer, go over the bolt here and give me some surface area to smash that whole thing. It's real easy to shove the bolt through there. Just smashes it so easy, see?
Mm-hmm.
And you have your spacer. Always bend it down right here. Keep it away from the edge of the pan over there.
Yeah.
So, looks really good. Really nice looking billet valve body there.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a really, really quick release FTI valve body. The fastest one in the world, what they say. So that's why I ordered it and got it. Because this old man needs everything he can on the starting line. So it's your detent spring here. And right here, if you notice how you have this line there like that and your shifter lever moves through it, that actually keeps everything lined up. If you see right here, your manual valve, if you pull that out, it can come out. Believe me, it can. So, so just got to be careful. That's what holds that all the way this way in there. You'll see how it moves like that.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful work they do now with CNC machines, let me tell you. A little bit of trash. I mean, I save a few passes on it, you'll just get that blackness on there. That's why you want to service them. I like to run them a few rounds, you know, weekend or so, and then pull the pan down and clean it out, and then put it back together. Because every tranny has braking material. Every engine has braking material. So you can see here your band anchors. This shaft right here, they do make a billet shaft, 4340 or whatever they make it out of, because it's bad about bending right here at the tip. Of course that fell down in there. There we go. Like I said, they do make hardened ones of these right here. Actually, you can see where it's been touching the case. It comes through both of these holes right here. That helps keep it from bending on the end there, stabilizes it. But you can still see how hard it pushes on that. Especially when you're bumping in and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a lot of force. You know, the clutch in the back's what's coming off and on, but still, you know, your band's on, so a lot of force. And then you have your parking stuff through here. I can't turn it. Right there, watch. It locks in. Always like to take, when I put this piece back on, always try to shove it as far as you can forward. That way you make sure you have park. These things are bad about going click, 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 click and not having them in park. So and that can be the problem. All you got to do is loosen up, slide it forward. Kind of a jicky piece there, huh? It's just like...
Guess it works.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we have a billet input shaft. You can just see the force it puts on these shafts and on the bushings and stuff, and it's crazy force that it puts on them. Especially when you're, you know, like I say, when you're boosting these things up, there's a lot of force on stuff. And then you're bumping in, and So I'm kind of curious to see what I find. You know, if, like I said, it was starting to get really whiny sounding going forward. Just off the gas, go away, give a little gas, come right back. Band looks beautiful. Looks really nice. You can see our other band anchor here. That hooks into here. I was going for this sun gear right here, wanted to see if it looked hammered on one side or the other. Not as much as I thought I would see. You should definitely see a load pattern, you know, where it's been pushing really hard on it. But nothing that unusual. No pitting or anything. But I've changed the sun gear a few times on this Planetary assembly. So it could be the ring gear even, you know, starting to get some wear. Of course, we have our hub here that's a 10 clutch, real thick this way. The less clutches, the shorter the hub. The more clutches you got to have a deeper hub to get down and actually reach them. See, here we have a spacer. Like that. We have another clutch and steel down in here. Come on. There we go. I tell you see how many I got in here. I don't even remember. Because sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get them in there to get them the clearances right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 10 clutches in there still. And then it looks like I used a thick one here to get my clutch pack right, clearance right. So. Drum looks really good. You can see the bushings. These are really always hard on bushings. I don't know what it is about that. I guess, I mean, this was a coated bushing, and you can see there's no coating on it anymore at all. You see a little bit of it appearing right there. What I like to do is set it on here, and the bushing right here, you can see how it's just right at the very top. I could actually push it down just a little bit more, but I want to still keep the bushing away from here. So you can kind of see the lip right there. You come this way just a little bit more. So the drum looks really nice. Thank goodness. No damage there. So that was a brand new pump too when I started on this last adventure. Now we have a scatter shield right here. Let's see if I can pull that out of there. There we go. This here, just in case that drum blows up, this is a shield to keep anything from coming through the case and coming through the floorboard of the car. This case is extra thick to stop it anyway, but it still could happen as much power that we put out and put into these cars and stuff. So that sits in there. It's a scatter shield. This is what I was wanting to really look at too, because this gives off a really tingy sound. So if you get something, you know, going on in here in these gears or in the teeth here, it would definitely pick it up. You know, any pitting or anything like that. You can see here that the gear's really hitting hard right here at the bottom. But you can see that black spot all the way around. I don't know if you can see that. See some pitting starting right here. Like I said, I've changed the sun gear multiple times. I actually got the other one right here just in case, you know. This one here isn't very bad neither, but they're identical. So our little whine that we're picking up could be in this piece right here even. You have a bearing right here. Sits down in there. Goes either direction. It's a real funny looking bearing, but it'll go either direction. Also, if you look here, you have another bearing that sets down in the top of this planet right here. It'll sit right down in there. See, I don't know how much these things are supposed to wobble. I mean, they do have a little bit of wobble. But want to just clean it up and look for any pitting or any type of brush washer wear or anything like that to cause a whine. Because it definitely had a whine. Now this planetary assembly is rebuildable. I could call the company and get a complete rebuild kit for this. You know, I'm not sure how old this planetary assembly is. There is a part number there. 6. No, I don't know. But anyway, see what the lower clutches look like. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 in there. You notice how I stacked 2 clutches on top of each other to get my clearance right. That's legal. It definitely works. So got a nice 6 clutch back there. So back here in the back we got another wide bushing right here, and like I said, I always put a wide bushing in my support back here in the back. New bushing there. It takes a special tool to get this out. Same tool like your 4L60Es, but it is a different tool. The 4L60E tool will not work on a Power Glide. So it does take a definitely different tool. Well, I don't see a whole lot of damage here, but I'm going to get it cleaned up. Well, let's look at this high dollar pump real quick. Might as well do that. So this pump has maybe 10 runs on it. Well, look at it. Now this does have a 400 pump stator shoved into a Power Glide pump body through here. But they actually use, instead of sealing rings on the shaft, there's no sealing rings. They use the bushings down in here as seals. So then you have your sealing rings right here. Now this is an oversized pump. So it's crazy how much wear you can get on a Power Glide pump with very few runs on it. Like I said, normally we tow these back, and this weekend I was driving it back. Definitely want to do me a little modification here to put some oil on the back side of this gear. You can start to see where it starts really pushing hard through here. And I always do my modification right here to try to put some oil on this gear right here, in between here and here. A lot of force being pushed that way. And I had this thing spaced perfectly in the flywheel. Well, like I say, I'll get it all cleaned up and put the old glasses on and look at everything and see if I can find any type of wear that way. Well, Teresa, I want to thank you for videoing like always. Don't forget to go check out our merch store. It's not much, but it all does help. We got little Annie. Crashed. She's just so comfortable anymore hanging out here. And look what's on the lift, guys. Our MV 4500. So it's definitely next once I get this cleaned up and moved over to the side. So y'all have a great Sunday evening, and we will holler at you later. Have a great day.